In the book that we just published, I can mention this gentleman's name because he allowed us to use his name in his story. His name is Rashawn. And Rashawn first tells a story about growing up in an abusive household. And he said, at the age of 16, I had to make a decision. He said it was a decision that I wouldn't want any child to ever have to make. It says, do you continue to allow your mother to be beaten by your father? And can you imagine having to make that decision at the age of 16? And so at the age of 16, he decided he could no longer take that and stand that anymore. And so he pushed his father down a flight of steps and broke both his legs in so doing. He had never been violent before. He has never been violent since. And he made a decision to protect his mother. Cost him a year of his life in what's called baby prison. Some may call it juvenile detention. When he came out, now he was a high school dropout, got his GED, and then realized, how am I going to get back in this society? I'm not a bad person. I'm a good person. In fact, he tested into the exam schools in Boston, Boston Latin Academy. He's a smart young man. And so when he came to our doorstep, of course he did well in the program and knocked the cover off the ball. He got an internship at 3i, the venture firm. They sent him to London to work on desktop support and helped us support. In fact, he called me from London one morning. It was about 3 a.m. and my phone rang and I got up from bed and he said, Gerald, I'm standing in front of Big Ben and Westminster Abbey and I've never been out of my own city in Boston. It's unbelievable. I said, Rashawn, have you heard about a time change? It's 3 a.m. I love you, brother, but it's 3 a.m. And so Rashawn finished his internship. He got a job at State Street. We now have placed hundreds and hundreds of young people. We have 200 full-time graduates working at State Street. It's a great employer. Rashawn lives over my house the other day with his beautiful wife, with his son, who he will look at and say, you will have a father in the true spirit of having a father. I was at his wedding. We went to his wedding recently, about a year ago. And he said, Gerald, and he shook his head as he was sitting on my picnic table out in our yard. We had a barbecue. He said, I never thought I'd be here at this stage in my life. I now work at Bank of New York Mellon. I manage 14 people. I make $80,000 a year. 3 of my workers are year-up graduates and 2 are year-up interns. I have a 3.96 graduate. I graduated my BA with a 3.96 I got at night. And I now have a home that I carry my son across the threshold of my house. And my wife and I cook dinner in our kitchen. And I pay taxes to this country. And he said, I never thought at the age of 29, having been looking out from prison bars, that I would be in this position to do what I'm doing today. And he just shook his head in a wistful, wistful way. And I thought, my goodness, can you imagine we almost wasted that young man's talent? And how lucky this country is.